If Texas comes up with a great way to do healthcare and North Dakota's isn't so great, they can look at that experiment, they can adopt the principles, and they can have it at that level. But it's much easier to get change at the local level when the power is derived from the state and the individual, because if I want to change the way that my state does healthcare, I have one of two options, or three options. I can run for office, I can support someone who is going to go into office and do what I want, or I can move. But when everything's centralized at the federal government and everything flows from the federal government, all of the money, power, and gravity is up there. And the individual, the 300 million of us or so, have really no power now to exercise either states' rights or individual rights at the higher level. I hope I'm elucidating this correctly,
You are.
but it's a real usurpation of individual and state autonomy that really got rid of state power, which was, if you read the Federalist Papers, was so important to the founders, that there was this state, that the state's needs were organized because the state was where the founders wanted these thought experiments. You read Thomas Hobbes' Leviathan or John Locke or Montesquieu. All of them talked about this great experiment that was being set up and how it was built on all of this Western politics and everything that had came before it, on how we could have a government that was forced to respect the rights of individuals and allowed for these competing think tanks of ideas, and that the power would never rest at the federal government. But the 17th Amendment was a way that a lot of that power went from the state level and the state legislatures. And now to become the president, they want to do a popular vote. And under a popular vote, you would just have to campaign in New York and LA.
Right.
You would get the popular vote out of the likely voting people. And now the rest of the country is not. And that would be another, you hear all these people saying we need a popular vote. We can't have the electoral college. We can't have all of these things. Everything needs to be pure democracy allows 51% to rule 49%. And that was another thing the founders were working fervently to get away from.